Chapter 714. The people in the diner looked over curiously. The older men held the younger one back, sneering at Wilbur coldly. "Let's talk outside." Wilbur finished the last of his burger, getting up to go outside after that. The woman and both men surrounded Wilbur at once, the woman saying, "Do you know who my husband does for work, young man?" "I don't know. Nor do I want to," said Wilbur calmly. The woman said boastfully, "My husband's in the city council, and my son's in the township committee. You're going to jail if you don't pay up. I'd think this through if I were you." The woman looked nothing but arrogant as she spoke, as if her family was better than everyone else. That was probably what gave her the guts to speak like that. Her husband and son stared coldly at Wilbur as well. The son was even rolling up his sleeves and cracking his knuckles, as if ready to attack at any moment. Wilbur smirked coldly. "You're not scaring me with your stupid positions. You're only making a fool out of yourselves right now." "What did you just say?" The woman fumed. "I thought I made myself pretty clear," Wilbur replied calmly. The woman trembles with rage. "Great. Perfect. You're dead. Insulting a public official like that." "Oh no. I'm terrified," Wilbur said with a smirk. "You're scaring the wrong guy, ma'am. I've had enough of you. You piece of shit." The woman's son lost his temper at Wilbur's cockiness, swinging a punch at Wilbur's face. Wilbur's expression darkened, and he countered with a slap. A crisp sound rang through the air. The woman's son was dizzy from the impact, spinning a few rounds before struggling to steady himself as one side of his face began to swell. The woman and her husband were shocked. A brief pause later, the woman cried out at the top of her lungs as if she had just been deeply scorned. "How dare you hit my son? I'll kill you." She charged at Wilbur, clawing at his face with both hands. Her husband was livid as well, aiming a kick at Wilbur. Wilbur let out a sneer, retorting with a slap back that sent the woman to the ground at once. He kicked the man back, right in his belly. The woman's husband let out a cry of agony, clutching his belly and bowling over in pain. Wilbur said coldly, "Not everyone is going to be afraid of you. You're out of your mind, daring to touch someone like me." He turned to leave after that, driving off. Wilbur was fine with getting his car fixed on his own. He did not care to fight with these people anymore. He returned to Sea Lake Island, calling Jose to have him bring a new car over and take the damaged one to be repaired, then got to meditating. It was around evening when he was done, opening his eyes. Wilbur gave it some thought, then called Benjamin to ask if he was free at night. He drove out after that, buying a fruit basket before heading over to Castleberry. Benjamin had invited Wilbur to dinner at his house. Wilbur was going to pay a visit to Caratopia soon and wanted to have a talk with Benjamin before he left. He reached a neighborhood and found that his car could not enter. Wilbur did not want to trouble Benjamin, so he parked his car outside before walking over to Benjamin's with the fruits. Not long after he had entered the neighborhood, however, he ran into a familiar face.